Yo, so Shudder hooked me up with Deathstalker. This is the brand new film from Steven Kostanski, right? He writes and directs. It is produced by Avi Federgreen, James Fleur, along with Andrew Thomas Hunt, Michael Patz, Pasha Patricki. It is executive produced by Joshua Viola, Michael Paul Vazek, Slash, Juan Pablo Raniso, John Moss, Dave McGrath, Peter Kaplowski, Clayton, Kevin the Ghost, Max Hegson, Rodrigo Guadino, Jordan Fields, and David Bond. It is associate produced by Niles Bergman, Ryan Boyko, Leanne Conji, Mac Downey, Emily Foster, Casey Gasho, Amaya Hilal, Mark Hopwood, as well as Doug Ross, Albin Swallensonot, Melissa A. Smith, Jack Thomas. Our score was handled by Blitz Berlin. Andrew Apley is on cinematography. Robert Hyland edits the piece. All right, Melissa A. Smith also was down with the casting. All right, Joshua Turpin is production design. Art direction, we have Chloe Olsen. Chelsea Graham is costume design. All right, Tanya Bischoff, Jeff Dershey, Jay Falcono, Pat Food, and Erin Sweeney were hair and makeup. And we have got John Abrams, Aaron Jones Beck, Sebastian Butrago, Alex Hong, JJ Lavadan, Daniel Lavange, Paul Lazenby, Brandon Lai, Jeff Meach, Darcy Roy, Tyler Williams, and Teresa Young on stunts. Right, the gist is this: the Kingdom of Abraxeon is under siege by the Dreadites, heralds of the long-dead sorcerer Nekromemnon. When Deathstalker recovers a cursed amulet from a corpse-strewn battlefield, he's marked by dark magic and hunted by monstrous assassins. To survive, he must break the curse and face the rising evil. Death is just the beginning of great adventure. So, man, this is it, right? Now, I remember, like, the first Deathstalker came out in the 80s. I think it was 83, right? And I would always see this in the video stores. But at the time, we had a Betamax player, right? And this was VHS, so I could never rent it. But films of its ilk, right? Beastmaster, Sword and the Sorcerer, right? I loved those films. Me and my friend, we would rent those and watch those things all the time, right? I think, was it Kroll was another one? Just like all of these things, man, loved them. So when I saw, oh, there's a new Deathstalker film, I was like, yo, okay, right? And especially because now, right, it's easier to produce things that look legit, right? We've had stuff like Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? We've had Game of Thrones, right? Just a lot of shows where the production is so good, right? They've been able to produce incredible effects, just all of this thing. So, man, when you see something like this, you're like, yes, that's not Deathstalker. Unfortunately, that's not Deathstalker, right? The crazy thing about this is, right, the director Steven oh, I haven't given you the cast, have I just thought of that we'll do that in a second. Steven Kostanski. I loved I think it was his last film, P.S. Gorseman. Oh my god, that was so good, right? That dropped on Shudder a few years back. It was incredible. Oh man, like, it was this little girl and this alien. There was just so much to this film. And it was like this throwback. It was fun and just all the things. So you wouldn't think the writer of that film wrote this film. They're so drastically different. Like, that P.S. Gorseman was funny, right? You felt that man, just the pacing, the balance, just all of these things were just really in tune with each other. Not so much with Deathstalker, unfortunately. Not so much. But yes, Deathstalker was played by Daniel Bernhardt. Doodad, right, is played by Laurie Field, voiced by Patton Oswalt. We have Brisbane, played by Christina Orajal. Jotak, played by Paul Lazenby. Grendel, played by Nina Bergman. Nicholas Rice is Nekromemnon. Pigface, John Ambrose. Saracabus is Troy James. Matthew Ninabar is Desperino, Tall Swampman, Reza, and Fundrax. Toravala is played by Tanya Sari. Prince Beldar is Connor Sweeney. The barkeep is John Clifford Talbot. Yeah, that's basically our main group, right? And, you know, as a throwback, right? There's the thing with, like, films like, you know, Deathstalker, Sword and Sorceress, Beastmaster, all of them. They weren't always the best produced film, but they were trying. Right? They were trying to be good. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell, right? It wasn't just trying to ham it up and all of this. And with this Deathstalker, it really felt like they were just hamming it up. Right? That, I don't know, the aim wasn't to be like this really refined film. And if the goal is just straight ham, that is fine, right? But I think, I don't know, you have to find the balance in it so it makes sense, right? Like, the amulet, he steals. There is no way, right? This is the thing, because he's in a world of magic and mayhem and craziness. There's no way you're looking at that amulet and just thinking it's a normal motherfucking amulet. You know what I mean? The amulet is a terrible looking piece. But you'll go, yeah, there's probably something to that. Right? So it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, just on that regard. And then you have these people helping him that kind of come from nowhere. And you're just like, okay, why are you trusting Doodad? Like, where does this, little girl thief come from? Like, it's just kind of like, wait, this feels real random here. You know what I mean? It's just, there's points when people are kind of like done, but you don't kill them, right? It's just like, this is one of them things of, you're not leaving an enemy behind you, right? You're gonna make sure they're dead. Or there's other moments when there's this crazy moment with the prince, and it's like something bad is coming. Instead of running or something, because there's time, they just stand there and they're like, no, and you're just like, wait. At that point, they're not close to you. You can get away. Like, why are you just standing there? You know what I mean? It's very odd. Like, there's this bit with a sword, right? Well, we see this cauldron. The sword that gets pulled out of the cauldron, you're just like, wait, that makes no sense. There is no way that sword was in that cauldron. What are we doing? But he pulls the sword out. He's like, it's a perfect sword. And you're just like, this thing looks so cheap. Like, it's not a perfect. It looks like you hit anything of substance, this thing is falling apart. Right? And he does this thing to the sword. And you're just like, wait. If you can easily do that, there is no way this sword is killing anyone. Like, it's just, oh man, they're just these terrible, like, moments of this film. And you're just like, yo, no one thought about this, man. No one. Like, all this fighting, these walking through swamps, and no one's dirty. No one's dirty. No one's like sweaty. No one. It's just. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I had so high hopes for this. But unfortunately, it just didn't land for me, man. But here's the thing, right? If you want those late night B movies, it probably would work. I will say, right, if you liked Red Sonja that dropped a couple of months back, right? If you enjoyed that, you will enjoy Deathstalker, right? They are very similar, right? So yeah, if Red Sonja worked for you, people, boom, go check out Deathstalker on Shudder because you will love it. But yeah, I couldn't hold this up to something like Sword and the Sorcerer, Beastmaster. Nah, this just doesn't come close, man. Doesn't come close, and that is such a shame. But yeah, Deathstalker, it is now available. It's definitely on Shudder. I think you might be able to find it in a few other places, but definitely Shudder.